Oscar, I'll be very transparent with you with my answer. I would tell you the day my oldest daughter was born, she had to go into the NICU, and her being in the NICU for like 2 days, it kind of just really um, it personally just grabbed me of this sense of worry. My son was in the NICU as well. He stayed there for a whole week and a half because he just had complications with his breathing. And then when they said my daughter had to go too, I'm like, oh, here we go again. And I'll tell you, when it's your daughter, oh man, it's like this wave of extreme emotion just comes over you of responsibility, and it gravitates you and grabs you, and it doesn't let you go because you want to champion for her, you want to mold for her, you want to go for her, you want to grind for her, you will go to war for your little girl.
Oh yeah.
And just being that level of responsibility, it makes you step up and say, hey, you know what, I got to lead better, I got to do better, I got to want better. And the birth of my oldest daughter definitely really did that. And then when my two daughters came, my twins came, oh my gosh, it was a whole nother level of, man, you got some weight on your shoulders now. And my dad at the time would tell me, he's like, boy, you know what? You got to step your game up. And he was right. He was definitely right. And I've noticed as they gotten older that they watch me. Yeah. They see me, and I want them to. I want them to understand that I'm going to be that example. I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to be the one for you when you need me.
Welcome to the Daughter Podcast, where fathers become everyday heroes in their daughters' lives. Grow, evolve, and lead with love. Here's your host, Oscar Pina.
Hey, welcome back, everyone, to the Daughter Podcast. Oscar here, your local growing girl dad. Today, again, with another local growing girl dad. Albert Butler is going to join us today to discuss leadership in the home. What are we doing as fathers to lead in our home? That and a lot of other things we're going to talk about. But man, Albert, I am excited to have you on. So glad that we got connected, and looking forward to this conversation. How are you today?
Oscar, I'm amazing. I'm excited as well too. I've been looking forward to this one. When we linked up and was able to get everything scheduled, I purposely started jotting my notes down of things I wanted to share with your audience. And hopefully what I have to say can resonate, and you and I can have a wonderful conversation. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. So you're a busy dude. So if you guys look up Albert, you'll see CPA, MBA, you see all these different things. But first and foremost, from what I've learned from Albert, is that he's a father. And that's what excites us here at the Daughter Podcast. He's got 3 daughters, 1 son, and 2 of those daughters are a double dose of girl dad mode, and that's twins, right? So Albert, man, give us a little bit about your background, you growing up, you becoming a dad, and then tell us a little about your kids.
You know, Oscar, I like to always begin off by saying, you know, for me and my drive, I'm relentless. When I make my mind up about something that I want, it takes a lot to deter me from getting it. I have a major mantra that I live by. I can because I will because I can. And with that, if I put something out there that I want, I'm going to go get it. But my wife will tell you that I struggle with getting rest. I'm always going, go, 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 in every aspect of the word, be it personally, be it professionally. My brain is always ticking for what's next, what's next, what's next. Because I want to actually be able to develop and grow. I'm constantly challenging myself, constantly. And because it's something that has a strong passion inside of me that bubbles up on a regular basis, not a couch potato at all. I'm the type of person that really wants to see what's to expand my knowledge base, because I like to share. Once I learn it, I want to share it. Once I see it, I want to do it. So that's a major growth factor for me. And I will tell you that I look for support in being able to do that. So doing podcasts, talking to folks like you, looking for opportunities to share my message is ideally the ideal picture of Albert Butler. So all those accolades, the CPA, the MBA, the I'm a partner in the national accounting firm, all that type of stuff is all great and dandy. But to your point, what you made earlier, I'm a girl dad, and not just a girl. I have a son as well too, so I'm an example for him as well.
Right.
And I wear that on my chest on a regular basis, that I believe in what I'm doing, and I want them to see what I'm doing so they can actually have opportunity to grow from my example as well too.
Awesome. So your son is 19. So 19 years ago, you got fathered.
Right.
right?
got initiated, I would say.
That's right. Initiation to being a father. That's good. So you got some experience that I know we're going to learn from.
Yes.
But then 17 years ago, you got daughtered. Give me a
Yes.
little bit of a contrast of Albert, soon to be boy dad, to Albert, soon to be girl dad.
Here's the biggest contrast. It was Albert and wife not knowing what was coming in both scenarios. We didn't know what we were going to have.
Join the club, brother.
Right. And we wanted to be surprised. So, we were buying all this yellow and green stuff.
Oh, you didn't find out the Oh, you're
No,
a brave
no,
you're a
no.
brave man.
No.
Cheers to you.
Right. I actually wanted to have that opportunity to get the it's a boy or it's a girl in that moment as compared to finding out earlier. So my wife and I, we agreed that we were going to wait to find out. When my son came, man, butterflies all over the place, not knowing what to do, when to do, how to do it. But it mellowed itself out. When my daughter came, I thought I knew what I was doing until I realized that, when you have a girl, even down to changing the diaper is different.
It's different.
It's different. You got to make sure you know what you're doing to get those nooks and crannies the right way.
Right.
So it's very, very, very critical that you understand. And actually, my dad gave me that advice on how to properly change my little girl. So
is that right?
So I did it the right way.
Hey, if you enjoy the Daughter Podcast, you'll love what we've got waiting for you at daughterpodcast.com. As soon as you visit, you'll be prompted to join our new email newsletter, a resource packed with valuable insights, practical tips, and powerful perspectives straight from our podcast episodes and incredible guests. Don't miss out on the chance to join the community and strengthen your journey as a father. Visit daughterpodcast.com today and subscribe, because great dads never stop growing.
But that was the biggest contrast, that, coming from being a father of a son first and then having my little girl, man, I get choked up almost even thinking about the experience. It's greatly similar, but different. You got a little bit of experience because you're talking about your second child, but really at the end of the day, it's still an open book on what you're getting ready to learn.
Right. And odds are, I'm just going to throw this out there, right? You had your son, thought you were experienced as a father for 2 years. Then your daughter gets there, throws the playbook out the window, and then you get hit by twins. You're like, there's no playbook for this one.
I'll walk you down a little bit further, be very transparent with you. I'm a CPA, so I've been doing public accounting for a long time. Those who know anything about public accounting, we work a lot of hours, lots and lots of hours. So my wife is a Spanish teacher, and she's a high school Spanish teacher. And at the time when when we got married, and I told my wife, I have to pass the CPA exam because I know that's important for us. It's going to help us develop and grow. Once I passed the exam and I came home, I said, babe, I passed the exam. Let's have a baby. That's literally the way it went down. That's how it went down. And then all of a sudden, son, he comes, and we're going great. She actually had to stop working for a little bit because he had some lung issues when he was a baby, and him going to daycare just wasn't working out. So she stopped working for a little bit. Once he got going in the flow, and then she decided to go back to work, pregnant again. My son and my daughter are exactly 18 months apart, almost to the day. Okay. So really, we were in diapers and baby formula for a very extended period of time.
Yeah.
And she actually had to stop working altogether because now we got 2 kids. And I'm sure we all know putting 2 kids in daycare is extremely, extremely expensive.
Dude.
And it just wasn't working out. I was like, babe, you know what? I'm just going to work. You stay home, take care of the kids. That's compared to trying to bundle them up, take them to daycare, and then paying close to $2,000 a month for 2 kids to be in daycare. It just economically just didn't make any sense. So she decided to stay home and make that sacrifice. And we figured it out. And then we wound up getting ready to my wife got settled in, and all of that she goes back to work again. And lo and behold, she might have been working maybe 6 months and got pregnant again with the twins. And she had to take off again. So that's just been life. And we've been making it work the best way possible. And we've kind of gotten to a flow of it now. 19, 17, the twins are 12 now, and they just got in 6th grade. So they're in middle school.
Yep.
So it's an exciting life over at my house. Very exciting.
It's a busy life. It sounds
Very,
like.
very busy. Very, very, very busy. Everybody got something going on all the time.
There's a company extremely dedicated to restoring the dignity of hard work and the relentless pursuit of greatness. That company is Fuel Hunt, and I am honored and humbled to have them as our sponsor. They have built a community that is all about choosing discipline over comfort and taking pride in the journey because comfort is a slow death. Their clothing isn't just apparel or fight gear, it is our uniform. 100% American made, Fuel Hunt clothing is a daily reminder for me and those around me that I am committed to being among the few who truly hunt for their goals. Join the movement today and wear your ambition proudly. Everybody wants to eat, but only a few will hunt. Follow the link in the show notes and use GrillDad at checkout for 10% off your purchase.
You mentioned a single income family, right? There's something that,
Yes.
man, it's a frustrating thing sometimes to hear because, as you know, women get told that that's not like you shouldn't be staying home. You should be doing all these things, and should and can are two different things.
That's right.
And my wife is also the one that made the sacrifice to be like, all right, I'm going to stay home with our girls because one, yes, it is stupid expensive to put them in daycare.
Yes.
I mean,
it
it's
is, man.
it's a mortgage payment. It's crazy.
It's a mortgage. Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Two, her and I talked and we're like, man, like in full transparency, our first one, my first daughter, she was a little bit older, but my wife was going to go back to work, and it was kind of a little bit of a transition between her going to work and then us. It wasn't school. It was one of my teammates' moms kind of created a daycare. So it was only like our kids in our unit, right? Which wasn't that many. And it was more of it felt more like a homey, like here you're hanging out with your cousins. They weren't cousins, but hanging out with your
Right.
cousins kind of thing. But before that, we're like, all right, you know what? You're going to go do your thing. She's going to do real estate. And it's okay. We'll put her in daycare for a little bit. It'll be fine, right? And she did it one day. Next day, I took her to daycare. And I took her in and I'm walking her in. Tough little girl. You could tell she's just like, I'm not liking this.
Not feeling this.
But she's just like stoic, right?
Right.
And I'm walking her in and I'm like, all right, baby, we're gonna leave you here. I'll come pick you up and do it. Like she just wants to cry, but she's just like holding it together. And now I'm just looking around, feeling it, smelling it, all the things. I'm like, this is not where I want my kid. I don't want my kid here. Right.
Yeah.
I left her, I walked out and went to work. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna take a week of leave. I'm not doing this. And pulled her out there. I just couldn't do it. I think for two reasons. One, because I saw the thing and it wasn't, I'm not trying to downplay the childcare environment. Obviously these ladies and individuals that work this, they're saints, first of all.
Yes.
And it's needed, right? It's just, some people need to do that. I get that. We were blessed that we were able to make the decision not to do that. And that we were able to bring in enough money to do what we need to do, right? But I credit my daughter. She was just being so almost understanding, because your kids are so understanding and forgiving, way more than we give them credit for.
That's right.
And it's not till after when you're thinking about it, right? But she understood, like, my wife wanted to work and I obviously had to work. And she's just like, all right, well, this is what we'll do. And you could just tell she's just not liking it, but she's going to do it. And I just felt like, no, you don't have to make that decision. Let us make that decision.
Right.
So we talked about it and that's what we did. And man, it's been such a blessing. It's been such a blessing to be able to say that my daughters were raised by their mother here.
That's right.
And I was able to contribute where I needed to at the time, and grown, to your point, grown more and more to contribute as much as possible, not just physically, but all the things that we need to do as fathers.
Right. It's interesting too, Oscar. You'll I'm sure you experienced this with your wife being the one to be there to nurture them on a full-time basis. Their connection is just astronomically stronger. Astronomically stronger.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change what we had to go through and sacrifice for anything And I really am appreciative of my wife for sacrificing a career that she really enjoyed.
Right.
My wife loves teaching. She really loved being in the classroom with her students. And she made the decision to be home with our kids first, family first, over something she really had a real passion for. So I commend her. I congratulate her. I praise her for it.
Yep.
Because we wouldn't have, our kids would not be as, I would say, well-rounded.
Yeah.
If it was different, So it's hard. Financially, it's hard. You do have to sacrifice some things. But I told her a long time ago, my career is my family. Not my job. My job is just the place that I go and make things happen for us. But my career is my family.
Right.
And if we can be on the same page as far as that goes, there's nothing that can stop us.
Right. And again, I'll just point out, like, that's, they're staying home. It's not easy.
No.
Like,
no. It's not
brother,
easy at all.
She's gone on a couple of trips and I'm home and I'm like, how do you do this on a day-to-day basis? Right. And it's not man or woman thing. It's the person that is there doing that growth job of these kids. That's a hard job, dude.
So let's put it in perspective. They don't get a time off. There is no
right.
off clock. They're all 24/7.
Yep.
And it took me a second to even realize that when I was younger, like, technically she's on all the time, and they're gonna come to her more than gonna come to me because they spend more time with her. And when daddy comes home, it's just a quick little party.
Yep.
As compared to all the issues especially from a toddler perspective and them coming up, all issues are gonna come up to make sure that they're good. And my wife's taking care of that. So she's my rock star, if you can't tell. I love her so much.
Yeah, and you should. And it's funny too, because you get home and they're all about dad for a second, and they realize, wait, you don't know what you're doing. Just let me go to mom. She knows what she's doing. She knows how I like my food.
Right.
Hey, if you enjoy the Daughter Podcast, you'll love what we've got waiting for you at daughterpodcast.com. As soon as you visit, you'll be prompted to join our new email newsletter, a resource packed with valuable insights, practical tips, and powerful perspectives straight from our podcast episodes and incredible guests. Don't miss out on the chance to join the community and strengthen your journey as a father. Visit daughterpodcast.com today and subscribe, because great dads never stop growing.
Oscar, I'm gonna give you the funniest story. My wife was sick, and I had to do my daughter's hair.
Oh, bring it.
Oh my gosh, bro. It was bad. When I say bad, my daughter, who's 17 now, still gives me crap. This had to been, she might have been like 5 or 6 year old, whatever age you are when you're in kindergarten. And I had to do her hair and had to get her ready to go, get to school. And I got the breakfast ready and got the clothes ready and all that stuff was ready to rock and roll. But then it came down to the hair. And my daughter's looking at me and I'm looking at her and she's looking at me and I'm looking at her and I'm like, I got the comb. And she's like, what are you going to do with that, Dad? So I'm trying to pull back, slick back, put a rubber band on and blow them out and all that stuff. Let's just say her ponytail ended up on the side of her head.
Okay. All right.
But we got through it. And actually my wife, she was sick, but she was actually out of town too with her mother at the time. So I had the kids for a week. It was just me, my son, and my little girl, and I had to do hair for the whole week, man. It was tough. I ironically enough, I think I might have a picture floating around, so I might bring it back up to my wife again so she can
Good.
see
You
it.
should.
Right.
You should remind your daughter. See what I did for you.
I did this for you. And she's gonna be like, no, I did it for you.
Yeah, right. That's right. I took it for you.
That's right.
Right. We just had that this morning. My daughters, they were like, well, my middle girl, she's like, hey, I want. She said, I want a ponytail braid. I'm like, whoa, easy. I could do a ponytail or I could do a braid.
Right.
You can't mix the two together. She's like, yeah, you can. This is how you do it.
Right.
And we give it a shot. And I looked at both of them because the little one obviously wanted the one as well. And I was like, yep, daddy definitely did their hair. Off to school you go. Like, it is what it is. It doesn't help too that my wife is a cosmetologist. Amongst all the other things that she does.
Yeah.
And so they know, like, if dad's home, like, just do the easy hairstyle because I ain't messing with you. Whereas my wife, they're doing intricate things, and I need to get better at it. I'll watch videos with my daughter, like, oh, that's a cool hairstyle, and then she's like, "Can you do it?" I'm like, yeah, not
You're
when you go to school, unless you wanna.
Oscar. You're not gonna get better at it, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
come
here to
on,
tell you.
not
I'm
with
here to
that
tell you. You're
attitude.
not. You're
If
not.
I can't,
You guess what? Right here. Yeah. You know what? You're right. If you got the willpower for it,
if I can, I will.
that's right. If you
That's right.
that's right. You go ahead and crush it. Go ahead and crush it. You got it, man.
Gotcha.
This where the rub's gonna come in at. Your daughter's gonna get tired of you.
Yeah.
She's gonna get tired of you messing up.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be so mad at dad that he made her go to school like this.
Well, we might
But
have got
keep
there already,
going.
'cause we might have got there because my oldest will do some awesome hairdos now. She'll just like spend time in the bathroom. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I saw this on Pinterest.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it. I'm like, good, do your thing. And she'll do her younger sister's hair too, which super helpful. So it's
Right.
and she's good at it.
So that's when the best part, when the oldest daughter can step up and do the younger daughter's hair. Here's the conflict we have in my house right now. My oldest daughter's 17. Well, my 12-year-olds, they're budding preteen teenagers as well too.
Mm.
And the one instance of somebody messing somebody's hair up, it's a war in the house in the morning. So no, oldest daughter can't. No. And then I'm like, I'm not going to do it then. Why don't I want you to do it anyway? Then mom comes in to the rescue and takes care of everybody. So,
right. And you're just off to the side, like, when
I'm like,
when-
hey, y'all need to practice. Come on, step brother. I even bought them little mannequin heads with hair.
Did you?
I bought the mannequin heads with hair. I said, guys, here you go. Practice on these, and y'all can go ahead and figure it out. Yeah, still.
There you go.
That's just dad trying to be dad right there, man.
Yeah, right. Well, man, we talked a little bit before we were hit record. You were talking about, or excuse me, we were talking about how your daughters really changed your perspective to leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I find real interesting. So ever since my career started, leadership, that's kind of been driven into us, right? And one thing I found as I was growing as a father, it took me a while, unfortunately, a lot of rocks to the head kind of thing, right? I found that I was doing better and better at my leadership at work and not translating it to home.
Right.
And that was it's one of the reasons why the podcast started, was all the marks I was missing at home as a leader, where I can pinpoint the good marks I was doing at work. Talk to me a little about that.
So this is going to be a complete Uno reverse card for you.
Okay.
I was bringing leadership back home too much. And my daughters, my son, not so much. He's like, that's just dad. But my daughters would flat out tell me, Dad, stop trying to audit us. We're not one of your clients. Stop trying to be an auditor over us.
Interesting.
And it's like, what are you talking about? I'm just trying to get you guys to do the right thing. I'm trying to give you guys feedback. I'm trying to let you guys see a perspective that you can't see for yourself. And your question is very pointed, because the pivot really is, your daughters have a vested interest in greatness, but at the same time, they're you.
Right.
Literally, they are you from a completely different perspective. And I had to understand and learn that, to step back and listen to them as compared to just trying to tell them. There's a concept of trying to listen to understand as compared to just listening to listen or listen to respond.
Right.
I had it bad, man. And to a certain point, I still kind of do. I'm trying to work myself out of it, but just trying to listen to them, because I don't know about your girls, but my girls talk a lot. A lot of words, a whole lot of words. And I'm sitting there like, get to the point. And it's like, no, you have to listen to them, because you might miss something if you don't, that you really might need to hear.
Yeah.
So I would say, from that leadership perspective, listening to understand, your daughters will teach you that over and over and over again, because they'll flat out say, well, Daddy, I told you that. And you're like, no, you didn't. What are you talking about? And they're like, I did. Remember, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, you did actually
Yep.
tell me. So I would say listening to understand critically is what will get your daughter will teach you that.
Yeah. And when you're coming home to audit, or you're essentially, because I did the same, right? I say the same. This is the weirdest thing, because I say I did the same. I would come home and I try to be a leader at home, which we need to be leaders, right? Here's the kind of oxymoron that I started to find. At work, with people that work with you, or maybe even more importantly, people that work for you,
Mm-hmm.
the leadership concepts we get taught. You're supposed to listen, incorporate their thoughts, ask them for feedback, get the buy-in. I mean, we could go down the line of all the leadership concepts that you're taught as you're growing up as a leader, right? And yet, to your point, we come home and we're not doing that, because it's almost like leadership at home feels different. I'm the parent. I'm here to keep the peace, get things done, teach you lessons, what have you. And I think that's where I missed a lot. And I'm still working on that. One simple example: at work, if you lose it on someone, I mean, it's possible,
Mm-hmm.
but how often do you really lose it on someone at work?
Never.
You don't, right?
Never.
Because one, HR is going to get all up on you,
Right.
right? But two, that's going to create a bunch of other problems. But how easy is it to lose it at home?
Extremely. Oh man.
Right. But again, if you were to say, "Hey, I'm going to lead at work," well, then you wouldn't lose it. You would figure out how to keep your cool about you and think through the problem. But that thing, and I've talked to several guests about this in the past. Your kids are mirrors of you, and you mentioned it.
Yes.
They show you the things you don't really like, that you already maybe knew you liked, but now they're mirroring it back at you.
Right.
Right. And man, when I ask that question, like, that's what I'm like, that's what I think of. It's like, you've been doing your job now for a long time. You're a leader in your field. You're a partner. You got a book. I mean, you're a leader, but your daughter started to change that for you.
Mm-hmm. Completely.
And that's something that I think a lot of fathers are looking for too, is how do I flip the script and lead maybe at work better by leading better at home?
That's an outstanding perspective, Oscar. And when you layer into the point you made about you're not going to just lose it on somebody at work, but you will lose it at home, man, the overall self-governance that you have to do to, dare I say the bad word for men, humble yourself. And saying that is a maturity factor. And that's not an age thing. You can be 99 and still be all over the place. Humbling yourself is more in lines of a emotional intelligence factor, where you can actually truly identify the things that are your triggers, identify the things that motivate you, identify the things that you need to do to grow as an individual, and not just your daughters, but your whole household needs that level of respect. Because if you're losing it on them, who they gonna lose it on? Right. Because again, they're watching you and they're gonna emulate you.
Yeah.
Younger in my wife and I's relationship, we used to argue a lot. Just being as transparent as possible. It wasn't always rainbows and bubble gum going on. We were rearing each other. My wife and I have been together since high school. And the ups and downs of being in a relationship where you are constantly evolving as a person, you lose it on your wife. She lose it on you. And you're going back and forth, and the kids are just sitting there watching like, oh gosh, mommy and daddy are really showing each other they love each other today.
Right.
And then you sit back and wonder why they argue. Well, they got it from somewhere. Where they get it? Probably from the people that they're closest to. They got it from you. I had to reflect on that. I would lose my temper. My wife would lose hers. And we're sitting there yelling at each other. And my two little ones are just sitting back watching us. So by the time that the twins came around, it wasn't as much as it was, but when I was younger, when I was in my like mid to late 20s and stuff, and
Yep.
my wife and I were growing up just going at each other, I got two little ones just sitting there watching, and I'm like,
Right.
I got to check myself, because if I don't, I need to ask questions of internal questions of why am I going here? And even asking my wife, why are you going here? And learning how to talk and listen again is critical, especially when you have kids, especially when you have little girls.
Yeah.
Because if I'm a man and I'm yelling at my wife, what's going to happen to them when they are in a relationship? That's what scares me, honestly. Like, I want to make sure that my daughters are not in a position where they are fearful, for one, being themselves, two, not knowing how to be a wife, three, selecting a guy who doesn't know how to be a husband, and then four, me coming in and having to save my little girl. Because that's what would happen. I'm just full disclosure. I'm not going to even sugarcoat or lie to you. I'm never going to let anybody disrespect my little girl. So that's what would happen. And not being an example to let them see what white's supposed to look like is my responsibility.
I recently had a conversation with one of my guests, and he made such a good point, right? Because you hear all the time, like, you want to raise independent women, right? Independent women. And he's like, I don't. I was like, what do you mean you don't?
Yeah.
He goes, I want to raise dependable humans.
There you go.
Dependable woman. Because an independent woman, and I think we're seeing that every so often now in social media and in kind of in society, an independent woman may end up alone, right? But a dependable woman, a dependable person, can be around other people because they're dependable.
That's right.
We created this. And, you're doing that work in fixing that with your wife, making it better so they can see what that looks like. And I was telling him too, I was like, dude, I've said it wrong the whole time. Because to me, I do want to make an independent person, right? I don't want a person that's dependent on everything, on everyone. I want them to know how to change a tire. And then I don't want them to have to change the tire.
That's it. Right? That's it.
But I want them to know how to do it and be able to do it. So I want to make them able, and yet in my masculine mind, I want that man next to them to not want them to do that.
Right.
Right. And do it for them. So again, independent, but also dependable. And one way that I try to teach that is to be dependable myself. Right?
That's right.
Doing what I say I'm going to do. Backing my wife up. And one thing I wanted to say too, as you were mentioning that, how many times in the office with your boss or a coworker are you going to argue in front of subordinates? Probably never.
Never.
You might close the door.
Yeah.
Right? And have a conversation. And that's the conversation my wife and I had. I'm like, we got to go to our office.
Yeah.
The subordinates are not going to see us do this, right? And obviously that's a work in progress. But
yeah,
to your point, I mean, we're showing something different than what we want to actually have them do.
So here's a one on going back on the independent aspect. And this might hit some folks the wrong way, but I still have to say it because I truly believe it. There's no such thing as an independent woman. It doesn't exist. There's a struggling woman. That's what happens. Because as humans, we're meant to be together. We are packed people. And I want to raise my girls to be independent in the way they can take care of themselves. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be great at everything. Because you're going to try to be with somebody who's also being reared in a way to be independent. Because once y'all come together, I'm good at something, you're good at something. And now we're interdependent upon each other.
Right.
And we can work together to build something together. So I don't believe in saying, hey, you know what, that's an independent woman. He's an independent guy, because guess what? I need my wife. Not even going to sugarcoat it.
That's the truth.
She keeps me straight.
Yeah.
You know, when I come home, I know that her smile is just make everything that happened during the day
Right.
all worth it. You know, there's a quote. It's actually in the book. There's a quote that I say, um, "Flirt with what's pretty, sexy, and fun, but marry what is God-fearing, supportive, and responsible."
Mm.
Because if you go a different direction, and if he or she's not God-fearing, if she's not supportive, and she's not responsible, those are our areas that struggle is going to take place.
Right.
So flirt with what's pretty, have a good time with all that good stuff, but you marry what's responsible, God-fearing, and supportive of you.
I just saw. I've not looked for the actual research paper, so I don't know if I can verify it, but I've seen it several places now. This long-term research that says that 82% of men get relief from mental, physical, emotional stress by just a simple touch of their wife.
You know what? I don't know the article you're talking about, but I will anecdotally tell you that is
Yeah.
100% correct.
Yeah.
Correct, man.
And again, I have not looked at the research paper, but I can tell you what happens in my house. That's exactly what happens.
Yes.
Like when I'm in, it's almost like she knows sometimes. And even if I don't know it, right? Like just that connection to this amazing human that is in our lives is like it's a game changer. So all those things interconnect to essentially prove that point.
Mm-hmm. That whole interdependence, because
Right.
that role, man, my wife can tell me, "Hey, get out there and go get them." I am ready to go through a brick wall.
Yeah.
And nothing's going to stop me, because I know behind me, and on side of me,
Right.
and over me, she's there. She's
Yeah.
there and able to push me on through. So you're so right. I don't know the research, anything like that, but if you poll 10 guys, they'll tell you that are married, they'll tell you, my wife could either take me there up or take me there down.
Yeah.
That's why the quote of the most important decision that you're ever going to make is who you decide that you want to be with for the rest of your life.
Right.
Because that person is the one that's going to be in your ear. That person's going to be the one that can help make you be the most outstanding person you could possibly be, or they could destroy you. I mean, that's just a very, very true fact.
Take us there a little bit. So obviously the relationship with your wife is extremely important. What do you value the most? Not necessarily with the relationship with your wife, but in the relationship that your daughters are seeing you and her. Like, what do you value the most out of that?
That we're in love. And that's a very, I don't want to say cliche answer, but it's a very loaded answer. Love doesn't mean that everything is hanky-dory all the time.
Right.
Love means that we can agree, disagree, go back and forth, but at the end of the day, a simple smile between the two of us, everything is going to be great.
Mm.
So I want to show that to my daughters and my son on a consistent basis, that this is what a couple looks like. Everything is not going to be great. Life is turbulence. There's going to be ups and downs always, corners and sideways, always. But having that person by your side to navigate those things with, it's astronomically important. So I'm such a huge supporter of marriage. And in this country, it's so interesting that people either get married too soon and not knowing the person that they're about to walk down this road with, make a decision about this person and not understanding what that decision really means for that person and for yourself, what that commitment really means, or they get the first sign of an issue and they split up. That is so disheartening, because nothing's going to be perfect. And if you don't have a strong foundation, that the first little wind that blows, you're going to teeter over.
Right.
It has to be grounded, and it has to be solid, and it has to be truly sturdy to deal with the turbulence of life.
What is one or maybe two very distinct notions that you have about the relationship you have with your daughters?
I would tell you that my daughters are very creative. And my oldest daughter, she can sing, she can dance, she can draw,
Mm.
she can do, but on top of that, she's a scholar, right along with it. I don't know what the world or how everything is going to work out for her long term, because everything she touches, when she puts her mind to it, it turns into. I wish I had examples I could show you of some of the things that she's done. But everything that she's able to put together, she becomes a blessing from it. So distinctively, our relationship is that I try to spend my time observing what they're able to do.
Mhm.
My girls, they can sing, and just, my little girl came home the other night. Hey, Dad, you want to hear me play my flute? I'm working. Yes. Let me hear it.
Right.
I'm stopping right there. Yes. Let me see it. Hey, Dad, this is the picture that. Let me see it. Oh, this is amazing, baby girl.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And just fanning their interests and fanning the things that they find enjoyment with. I like to say that, hey, from 2 to 12, you get to teach your children your values, your value system, what's important, get them exposed to right and wrong, and get them exposed to crafts, get them exposed to sports, get them exposed to these things to see what they gravitate over to. So after 12, you would hope that you've done a good enough job that they're going to come to you and tell you the truth. Because as you know, at 12, something happens. Puberty kicks in. They start to tell tales. They don't tell you the truth. They tell you the half truth about what's going on. And you would hope that you put a level of discernment inside them that they can actually find the right path and make good decisions. They can come to you and they have those questions, and you have that relationship. So when they come to me, I stop and I want to listen to see, because the last thing I ever want is for them to stop coming.
There's a company extremely dedicated to restoring the dignity of hard work and the relentless pursuit of greatness. That company is Fuel Hunt, and I am honored and humbled to have them as our sponsor. They have built a community that is all about choosing discipline over comfort and taking pride in the journey, because comfort is a slow death. Their clothing isn't just apparel or fight gear, it is our uniform. 100% American made, Fuel Hunt clothing is a daily reminder for me and those around me that I am committed to being among the few who truly hunt for their goals. Join the movement today and wear your ambition proudly. Everybody wants to eat, but only a few will hunt. Follow the link in the show notes and use GrillDad at checkout for 10% off your purchase.
Give us an example of some hardships with your teenager. She's 19 now.
17.
And I know
she's 17.
I'm sorry. Yep,
Yeah.
17. So she's technically still in it. But nevertheless, you have 12-year-olds that are starting that journey.
Right.
I have a 13-year-old, and I agree with you. Between 12 and 13, something very distinct happened.
Yes.
Very interesting, but scary as hell. But for that dad out there, he's listening. He's like, hey, man, you got a 17-year-old. I'm getting into 14, 15. Give me some thoughts here. Give us something of your experience from there.
You're really getting at me, Oscar. My oldest daughter, when she turned, 12, maybe, no, it was 12. It was around 12 years old. I don't know what was going on, but a heated debate went the wrong way.
Okay.
And she actually fixed her lips to say, I hate you.
Oh.
I was crushed.
Yeah.
And I was not very emotionally mature.
Right.
I lost.
Look, what does that look like? I don't want to get you in trouble.
Right. And I'm like, you hate me? Me? Oh, the one who put the lights on over your head?
Right.
The one who makes sure you have clothes on your back? The one that feeds you? The one that gives you everything you want? You hate me. Okay. Hey, let me explain to you what hate really means. Hate means that you don't need. Hate means that you don't want. Hate means that you don't have any interest at all. Hate means that you are so disconnected that you don't ever want to see or be exposed to this person ever again. Is that what you feel?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Is that what you feel? So it was a heated debate. And I don't think I handled it the best in that moment because I was shocked and devastated all over the one. But when it was over, I think I cried.
I believe it.
To be very transparent with you, I think I finally got alone and just really that resonated inside of me. And I think I cried because one, I was arguing with my daughter. Two, the sentiment that she had in relation to me.
Right.
And three, I felt like a failure.
Mm.
And I'll be very honest, there's only a handful of people that can move me that way. My mother, who's passed now, she was one.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, of course, and my oldest daughter. Not the younger ones right now.
Yeah,
my oldest
yeah.
daughter has a grab on me that is just what she says means the world to me.
Yeah.
And for her to fix her lips to say that in that moment, I was devastated. And
Yeah.
it took us a minute to get back on the right page.
Yeah.
It really did. It really did.
Well, you know, one thing I've said and believe still is that your oldest unintendedly or unchoosingly has been your instructor the whole way, right? So
Yes.
your 19-year-old son, he's been teaching you how to be a father.
Oh,
But that girl, that 17-year-old girl, she's been teaching you how to be a girl dad.
That's it.
And that relationship you have with those teachers is special.
Very special.
And that could be why that your 17-year-old daughter has that grip on you, because you have this, you know, I tell my 13-year-old all the time when we go little daughter dates or whatever, right? Little daddy daughter dates. I say, hey, listen, like you and I, you may not feel it, but you and I have a different relationship than I have with your other sisters. We just do. Because you're teaching me how to do things every day. Every minute of the day, I now learn something new that I will probably do better with them. And I'm sorry for that, but that's just the reality.
Yes.
So that argument maybe look way different with your 12-year-old girls as they grow because of your oldest daughter.
That's exactly right, Oscar. And I'll tell you, that argument, and my teenage twin girls now are turning 12. I've been humbled so much in the process of the exposure that my 17-year-old daughter did with me, that my older two kids say that the younger two are so spoiled. They don't have any idea how daddy really was back then, and none of that stuff. But it's just the truth. I've learned so much about being a dad, like you just said, because of the older two, that I'm better, I would say, with my younger two. It's just the way it goes.
It is.
Unfortunately or fortunately, that's just the way it goes.
I mean, it's fortunate for the younger ones.
Yeah.
Right? They get the better product.
They get the better product. Yes. Yes.
And that, you know, I think as long as we're intentional about, and I truly believe this, I think as long as we're intentional and transparent about that with our oldest, to be able to say, hey, listen, I'm sorry. Like you got the raw product and you made a refined product for your siblings. Thank you, but also sorry because I couldn't be better for you. And, you know, this is obviously an attempt to be better with, you know, the daughter community, talking to dudes like you to get those perspectives. But it's a way to be better, hopefully for my oldest, but definitely for the youngest, right?
I'll say this as well too, Oscar. Is it really a bad thing? Because their experiences are still their experiences, and it still helped mold them into the people who they're evolving to be. So I always say no experience is really a bad experience if you learn something from it. And even with the older two, they've learned through my trials and their trials, and we've kind of helped rear and mold each other. So the younger two are actually spoiled. I mean, so it might be a bad thing for them.
Yeah, you're right.
That, you know, they don't get the same rawness that the older two did.
Yeah, man, it's been a real humbling learning curve with my oldest because of that. And I think, you know, I try to do a lot of introspection to that so that I don't miss opportunities to kind of solidify not just the relationship, but the learning that we both get to do,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Instead of just like, oh, well, that's your lot in life, we'll just go with it. I try to make sure that to kind of bring it up. And it's gotten a lot better since I started doing that, where I can say, hey, listen, the other day, this thing happened. I learned this, and I know you didn't like it. Like, how can we do this better? Like, just this little bit of learning. I don't even know what to call it, man. Like tidbits that I'm able to capture and not let go, and then just kind of let them dissipate
Mm-hmm.
and really get with her on it has been kind of a game changer.
It's funny how you position that, because my older two, especially, well, let's talk about my older daughter. She's dropped the comment many times when I was, hey, you should, you're the big sister, so you're the example. You need to work with your younger sister. She's like, Dad, I kind of get tired of having to work with them. They don't listen to me.
Right.
they won't act right. They won't.
Right.
They won't. And she'll say flat out, because you've spoiled them so much that they're just, they don't want to listen. And you and mom decide to have those other kids, so why do I have to try to be the mom? And I'm like, well, you're the big sister. Unfortunately, that's your right. That's your honor. That's your personal badge of honor. You get to be the big sister to help mold them and the way they see things. So kind of lean on you for that a little bit,
Well, the way I put it to my oldest, that we had that kind of similar conversation, actually. It's kind of weird. But the way I put it was like this. I was like, okay, listen, because sometimes she'll get after her sisters, and I'm like, no, you're not a parent. I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you're not a parent, and they don't need to see you as a parent, right? They need to see you as like almost like the cool uncle,
right? They can
right?
go to. Yeah.
Because I have two younger brothers, but I'll be like, your uncle, you talk to in a certain way, you say certain things to that you wouldn't do to me. Like, that's who you need to be for your sisters. You need to be on their team. You need to tell them when they're doing something wrong, but not in the way that I'm going to tell them.
Right.
Because you obviously don't like the way I tell you. Right? And so she's like, oh, that kind of makes sense. And we just had this conversation today. And I'm like, no, you got to be on their team. They have to feel like you're on their team, not another parent. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, and I think this takes us back to what we were talking about, the whole mirror thing. Sometimes she'll talk to them and I'm like, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Like you hear yourself in those words.
Yes. Yes. So that can be good. That can be bad. But I think it's more good though, because it shows you the impact you've had on your child in that instance, when you can hear daddy's voice coming through your child is astronomical. I'll give you another example with my son. He actually when I did the book, I had a book launch. And I didn't know my son was going to do this. He literally got up before he did the prayer for everybody. Wasn't expecting to do that. Yeah. And then he got me a speech. And
nice.
I've been preaching I can because I will since he was barely could walk. Mm-hmm. And he said, one thing about this guy over here, everything that I am right now is because of him. Mm-hmm. I could have just cried and died right then and there.
Right.
And he took I have these bracelets that actually mention the quote, I can because I will, on it. Mm-hmm. And he picked up one of these bracelets and he said, you see this right here? I've been hearing this since I was a little boy, and every time adversity comes up against me, I just hear my dad's voice saying, you can because you will. And I start saying to myself, I can because I will, and I'm able to persevere and push through.
Right.
Man, that right there said, you know what? Gosh darn it, I think I'm doing a good job.
Right.
I think I've done a good job. And that was very, very special to me and very, very powerful for him to give that gift to me.
Right.
And I was I'll just outrageously proud of him.
What a gift. Seriously.
Yes.
Well, take us into the book a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about your book. How did that come about? And give us just a little tidbits in there. I know, we want people to go out there and support and get that book. And soon to come out in audiobook. I know we talked about this before. Yes. So just give us a little information about the book, brother.
Well, I'll tell you, the book is because of my daughter, ironically. I'm a CPA, and I've been doing audit work since the beginning of my career, which meant a lot of travel that I had to do. And I've had clients all over the world. And when I was younger, man, jet setting was awesome. I was all over the place,
Right.
and just enjoying it completely. And then I started having kids, and my son was born, and I still had to travel, but it was he's born. But then when my daughter came, I had a trip I had to take to Singapore, and that flight is 18 hours long.
Oof.
Literally. And I'm on the plane. I didn't want to leave. I mean, honestly, my daughter had just been born. I got my wife, a son, I got a daughter. I'm like, gosh, and I got to go on this trip again. I really don't want to go. But I went ahead, and I'm on a flight, and I'm flying, and literally, I'm thinking to myself as I'm going over the Pacific Ocean, what would happen if this plane crashed? What would happen if I could never get back home? Who would be there to give fatherly advice to my children? Who would be there to tell them the right from wrong? Who would be there? You know, I would have to put all that burden on my wife, and they wouldn't have that male figure, that protective figure, that supportive figure, that person that's supposed to be there to root them on and champion for them, not be there in their life. And how I got sad. I'll be honest with you. I got very, very sad. And while I'm flying on that long, long flight, I pulled out my pen and pad at the time. I just started writing down quotes, aphorisms, maxims, these sayings of things that I've heard from my parents and my grandparents and aunts and uncles and all the above, who've instilled so much inside of me. And I just felt like I need to memorialize it some type of way. So I started writing in my notepad at first, and at the time, I think I had a basic cell phone, so I tried to put notes in that thing. That really didn't work out well. So I kept on writing in the notepad, and by the time I landed, I had a few written down, and the one that resonates, the one that the main quote about from the book is the kind of the cornerstone of it is I can because I will. That's a quote that I came up with through a conversation with my dad that really was a pivoting position and a paradigm shift for me as a man. And I'm sitting there talking to my dad about trying to start a business when I was probably 23, 24 years old. At the time, he was in his mid 50s or so. And I was like, let's go start a business, Dad. I'm doing this accounting thing. And he was a truck driver for many, many. I'm like, let's go get a dump truck and just start taking loads all over the city. We can just do that. And, and he said to me, I can't do that. And to hear my hero say I can't, when my whole life it was, we can do whatever we want to do as long as we put together and just push through it. And to hear him say I can't, man, it hit me hard like a ton of bricks, man. And in my mind, I'm like, we can do whatever we want. And at a young 24-year-old Albert, I'm like, I just didn't get it. I didn't understand it. Couldn't reflect upon it. And I was devastated. And in that moment, I said, I can do whatever I want. I can because I will. My willpower is greater than anything else. And nobody's going to stop me from doing what I want to do except for me. And that was the birth of I can because I will. To this day, Oscar, I can tell you, writing a book and reflecting on all of that, I can look back at my dad and understand in the moment why he said I can't. For him, it was more so him thinking about he could not do it. It was never we cannot do it. He was taking the burden of understanding what it meant to do something like that. And based on his present situation, he truly felt like he couldn't do it. Not thinking that, oh, my son and I are going to do this together and work through it, because he would never want to put any type of burden on me. And I can respect that more now. Right. Then it was tough. It was tough. So that's the genesis of the book, where it came from. In it, there's 12 chapters of life moving in a way that gives examples of my personal experiences. It's set up with scriptures, and it's set up with quotes. And at the end of each chapter, is a final advice piece that gives everyone a solid takeaway that you can try to apply to your life. And I'm hoping that people can gravitate to it and they can read it and they can connect with it. I wrote it as something for my kids and my future grandkids, but it's really personable for anybody if you pick it up and start reading through the pages. And I think it'll resonate with anybody who picked it up. Yeah.
And where are we going to find the book currently?
Currently, it's on Amazon. The ebooks on Amazon, paperback, hardcovers on Amazon. Simply just type in Albert Butler and it'll pop up on Amazon, or type in Life. The name of the book is Life, Truth, Love, Loss, Success, and Failure. You can just type up Life. It's going to pop up in the search. And the ebook right now is only 99 cents. And I purposely made it 99 cents because I want to get the message out to as many people as possible without any hurdles whatsoever. Audiobook will be out pretty soon. I'm actually going through the final review stage of that as well too. So that's on the table as well too. But it's a very, I personally think Life is changing lives. I've gotten a lot of great reviews across the board, and I'm very, very proud of the work that's been put into it.
Yeah, I know I'm getting mine here soon. You got the book there? Give us a little view of the.
I do. Here's the actual book itself. Nice, sturdy, something that and is actually the perfect size. You can put into a coat jacket to take along with you. And I'm very, very excited about this. This is a personal work of art for me that I want to give to the world. So that's it.
Albert, where else can we find you, man? Obviously, we're going to look for the book on Amazon. Where can we find you on social media? How do people connect with you?
I will tell you, if you just Google Albert Butler CPA, and I should cover your first page. I've been blessed to be published in several different articles, Business Insider, Forbes magazine as well too. I got an upcoming article that should be coming out. It's going to be in Yahoo Finance as well. Okay. So just Google Albert Butler CPA, and I'm coming across the board, across your screen. Again, I'm a CPA by trade, but a girl dad at heart. With 4 monsters that I call my children, and an extremely loving wife. Very, very proud of it.
Well, you ain't lying, because when I was doing my research, you were literally the first person that popped up. So all over the place, man. That's awesome. And we'll have all those. We'll have all of Albert's links in the show notes, including the Amazon link to get you to the ebook as well as the hard copies of the book. So they'll be on there. Albert, man, think back at young Albert before even your son's born. Now with your experience as a father, what do you tell the young Alberts out there about to have a kid, or just freshly had a kid, still trying to find the manual for the child? What do you tell them? What do you leave them with as we end our time here today?
I would say the biggest thing that I would leave that young Albert with is to know that presence is so important for not just your children, but also for your wife. Being there sets the stage for everything else. Always tell your kids that you believe in them. Always hug your children and give them and kiss them to show them what real love is and true affection really is. Stay grounded in your belief in God, and everything that you want and desire will work out for you. You can, because you will. 100%.
Thank you, sir. For all you guys out there, I hope you took notes. If not, rewind this episode. I say rewind like we rewind anything anymore.
That's right.
Go back to the beginning of the episode and listen over and over again, because we had a lot of good information here. Albert, man, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for being with us and sharing your story and your perspectives with us at the Daughter Podcast.
Awesome, Oscar. I really, really appreciate you for this opportunity. I hope we had to talk about resonates with your audience. And man, I had a great time. And if you ever want me to come back, I'm all for it. I really appreciate it.
You're going to be on the hook now that you said it.
That's right.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. For all you guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your support. Remember to like and subscribe with us and give us your feedback on this. Until next time, we'll see you all later.
This has been the Daughter Podcast. Be sure and share this show with a friend. Like, subscribe, follow us on social media, and leave us a review. For everything Girl Dad, head over to daughterpodcast.com. That's daughterpodcast.com.